What's going on, guys? Jay back again with a quick tutorial today. There's a couple of nice little things that I've seen since the 1.1 patch, so I figured I'd share them with you. These aren't my inventions, I saw them on someone's channel, but I can't remember what it was, so if I find out I'll link that in the description below. But I thought these needed sharing, so the first one is a minecart dispenser. Press the button, drops one minecart, and you can also just do it with a button here. But if you want to activate it remotely, like with this button, you have to have a repeater going into that block. So I'm going to do a quick building tutorial in a sec, so don't worry about it too much. But that's the basic gist of how it works. And obviously you wouldn't just have it looping around like this. You'd probably have one of these stations at your base, and then another one at the other place, and you'd hop out just before it got into the station, and it'd go up and sit in the rack of the other dispenser, and then when you came back on the minecart, it would go back into this one. So basically you'd never run out of minecarts, and it actually looks pretty cool. It can be pretty well concealed, so for example, it can be covered up along the sides. It can also be covered up along the front if you want, but that's a slight problem. Didn't mean to click into that. And yeah, you can disguise it pretty nicely. You can also cover it along the front if you want, and just have, well, basically just have this bottom block uncovered, so you could actually have it like that. But yeah, I like it open. I think it looks pretty cool, so that's probably how I'd have it. And then the second thing I want to show off is this. It's basically a detector when the minecart's empty. So as you can see, it stays there. If I hop in, it'll start going round, and if I stay in, it'll keep opening that gate and letting me go through. Well, if I hop out, as you can see, the minecart just stops where it is. So that could be used for some kind of station design as well. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to build these. And the first one I'm going to build is the dispenser. So what you want a block with a fence gate on. Remove the fence gate. Not the fence gate, the block underneath. And then behind where your dispenser, like the back bit of your dispenser, which is going to hold the carts, you want to place a block on the ground, and then make that sort of shape. So there's one gap behind it and then a block, and place a torch on the front, and that should open up your fence gate if you've done it right. And then what I do is place a block on top, but you don't need that, but I think it makes it look better, so I do it. You then want a block like that behind the one with the torch on the ground, with a torch on top, so that should turn this torch off and the fence gate will shut. Then need to grab a repeater quickly. There we are. And what can I get rid of? Get rid of this stone. So the repeater goes facing into the block, which has got the redstone torch on next to the gate, and that's set to 2 ticks delay. And then behind that repeater you want a block and a piece of redstone dust on the floor behind it. So let me just grab a piece of redstone and get rid of the fence gate for now. So pop a piece of redstone on the floor, and then your button would go there, and what that does is it sends a 1 tick pulse to this fence gate, which will just open it for a split second, and that's just enough time to let one minecart through, so you don't get more than one coming through. So now how do we load this? Well, all we need to do basically is build up above the fence gate to a height which we want to stop. So if you want 4 minecarts stored, like mine over here, you want to build up 4 blocks above the fence gate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place a piece of glass and destroy these blocks. And actually I've done that wrong, sorry. The glass should be 1 in front of where the fence gate is, and then you can just build up to 1 below the glass from the block behind the fence gate, and then all you have to do is build in a slope downwards, so like that. So now you've got a slope going up, and you'll want to use powered railings and place a torch underneath the powered railings, so that's going to be what loads the carts basically. So if I just put a piece of track here now and place a minecart, you can see it goes up, hits the glass, drops down and lands on top of the fence gates. And because they're all dropping exactly the same, they're not going to move around and they're just going to stay there like that. Like I say, you can put the guards on the side like I did over there, but that's actually pretty good, and I believe I can fit 5 on this one actually. Actually I could probably fit 6. So you just want to keep building up basically, and yeah, I can fit 6 on that. So as you can see, if I'd push another one up now, it wouldn't work, but this should do. So if I push this button, 1 gets dropped down, and you'd have a track to send that on its way once it's down here. So press the button, 1 gets dropped, and away it goes, and again, and yeah, that's how you build that dispenser. Pretty nice design, and it could be quite easily hidden away in a wall, and I think it's pretty nice design feature actually. As you can see with this one, it actually looks really cool, so it'd be a nice thing to have in your house. And main things to remember is the block above this redstone dust needs to be your input block, so it's got to be a button or a repeater going into that block, because you want it activating that block, which will send power to the repeater as well as sending power down below to the redstone. So that's how you want that, and just give it a quick pulse. As you can see, sends minecart on its way. So it's a pretty nice design, and I figured I'd share it with you. And then the next one will be the occupied minecart detector, and I need to build this really quickly because it's getting dark. So basically what you do is, in fact, I'm going to sleep and I'll be back when it's sunny again. So yeah, as you can probably tell, I haven't got any mods installed yet because this is 1.1 and it's not long been out, but I figured I'd bring you these tutorials anyway because I like the design, and thanks to creative mode I don't really need any mods to do it. So next design is, what you need to do is you need to have a block with a fence gate on top, just like we did before. That's basically the starting point, and then you can remove the block underneath it and have a powered rail going up underneath it, sort of thing, onto that block behind it. And if it was to just build up like so, make a sort of platform, that's basically what you need for now, apart from the fact that you need a detector rail here. So you want a detector rail directly behind the fence gate, and then you can just, obviously you wouldn't loop this back round, you'd have this going off to wherever you want, but just for the sake of the tutorial I'm just going to loop it back round and have it going up back onto the storage bit. So just power these rails. Obviously you'd hide these redstone torches, but I'm not too concerned about making it look neat. So you'd push your minecart up, and that's not gone well. Another thing to note is it's a one-way system. So as you can see, I push it from behind and it gets stuck on this fence gate until I hop into it, and then away we go. And like I said before, this will just keep looping round until I jump out of it, and then it'll get stuck. And if you want to send it the other way, it doesn't get stopped. So as you can see, it is actually a one-way system and it doesn't stop it both ways. So you could use that in your design, and if it's coming from that way, it does get stuck. So that's the two designs I wanted to show you guys. I just figured I'd throw up a quick tutorial for it because I saw it and I liked it. So chances are I'm going to be using it in my Let's Play world, because I'm thinking of starting a new base soon. So I'll probably be using these to get between the two bases. So once again, press this button, minecart gets dispensed, and then you just resupply it by sending it back up that line. So pretty neat design, and this one will just keep looping you around basically until you get out, and then it'll stop. So if you've enjoyed this tutorial, guys, I'd appreciate it if you leave a rating and let me know in the comments what you want to see in future, as always. So I'll see you later. Peace. Basically, from this point here all the way along, ignore this, all the way along to here is two slime loading chunks next to each other, which I found just using a what's it called? Slime finder, that's the one. I found them using a slime finder